Continuing our video with another example under commensalism is the interaction between a clownfish, also called as Amphiprion percula, and sea anemone. So this relationship, one partner is clownfish, the commensal which is being benefited, and the other is sea anemone. I'll show you a diagram, a picture here, you can clearly understand. The clownfish is in the center and this is surrounded by the sea anemones. In this case, the tentacles of the sea anemone, they have stinging cells. So the effect of the same, the clownfish is protected from its enemies' attack from outside by the means of these tentacles, alright, or the stinging cells of the tentacles. So as I told you, the benefited partner would be the commensal, that is clownfish. It lives amongst the tentacles of sea anemones and it's protected by stinging cells of their tentacles from the enemies. Coming next is a relationship between Arctic fox and seal. Right? Now what happens is, every time the seal moves from one place to the other, Arctic fox follows the seal, and whatever the seal has eaten and left there as a leftover, Arctic fox will feed upon the same. So without looking for or hunting for the prey, it gets it food. So this is the commensal and this is the host. On a very similar note, various jackals, they also follow the tiger or the lion, right, wherever it moves from place to place. Doing so, whatever this animal has eaten and left over, the leftovers will be eaten by the jackals. So this follows the tiger and lion and feeds on the leftovers. So they will not be affected. The seal or the tiger or lion in this case, they will not be benefited or affected. But yes, the jackals or the Arctic fox, they are the ultimate benefiters or commensals. The next relationship is between epiphytes and surface of other plants in tropical rainforest. Once again, to understand this, it will be better you see this diagram first. This is an epiphytic plant and this is growing on another surface of another host plant, right, for support only. The term epi means on the upper part, right, and phyton or the plant in this case. So remember children, this type of relationship is only for support. The plant is not deriving any water or any mineral or ready-made food from the host plant. The only benefit is the support, that you can see there are clinging roots that are spread all around. Some are aerial roots also, and it's well placed or positioned on the host plant. So epiphytes, they are autotrophic plants. That means the one that is growing here is green in color and can very much synthesize its own food. Alright, so they are autotrophic plants which grow on the surface of other plants and they do not derive nutrition, that is water or food, from the host. The examples are very clearly seen in orchids, some types of ferns and algae that show epiphytic commensalism. Alright, and to end up the last relationship in commensalism are lianas. The lianas and stems and branches of other plants. Again, see this diagram. This is a weak woody plant coiling all around another plant, that is a stem of some other plant or host, for merely support, right? So what do you think is the nutrition coming to this weak plant? It is gaining its own nutrition, that is this weak plant has its own roots to absorb the food and nutrition. But the benefit that this is getting, the liana being this plant twining around, or the twiner is the liana. So the benefit that it's getting is the support only for climbing. So this is the last type of commensalism shown. They are weak woody plants or vascular plants rooted in the ground, and they grow or twine around the stems and branches of other plants for support while climbing. So children, that completes the relationship on commensalism. Once again, I started commensalism with the definition and I told you how one partner will be always 100% benefited, called as commensal, and the other, which will be neither benefited nor harmed, will be the host. And I gave you 10 examples. All are in your textbooks. right? So the examples were bacteria and man, that is E. coli, then entamoeba, coli and man, then a small fish and sea cucumber, that is Phiasper and sea cucumber, pilot fish, the next one, nocrates and shark. Then we talked about sucker fish, we also call it as remora or echinus, and shark. Then the relationship or interaction between barnacle or balinus and whale, then between clownfish or amphiprion porcula and sea anemone, between Arctic fox and seal, jackal and tiger or lion, epiphytes and the surface of other plants in tropical forests, and between lianas and the weak stemmed and between stems and branches for the support. So that ends up the first type of positive relationship in our table here, that is commensalism. Now in my next video, I am going to post another relationship on positive note, and with that we'll end up this chapter on the organisms and populations. So our next video will be only on mutualism or symbiosis. Any queries, please ask. Thank you for just now.